Today is an important day. I have an interview. Let's get interview ready with me. Today is Sunday. I found out on Friday that I didn't move forward with the next round. No offer, nothing has changed. So I want to do a little bit of a post-mortem to just let this go out of my system and figure out what's ahead. Let's get interview ready with me. Let's start working. It is 6:30 and I have this interview in 12 hours. I am on 6 hours of sleep and this is my third round. I have 45 minutes to impress them. Last time I filmed the day of my interview, I actually got the offer. So I'm going to use this as a way to de-stress, decompress, and get myself excited for today. So wish me luck and let's do this. Okay, as I get ready, I am going to try to decompress. If it was one of those usual, like tell me about yourself interview, I would be a little less worried. But it's a case interview where I submitted a case and they want me to go over my answers for 45 minutes. I actually haven't told my friends or my parents about this interview because sometimes I feel like the more I tell people, the less lucky I get. So for this one, I kept it to myself and then just continue to document it. Oh, and I'm wearing my favorite blue dress. Who knows what's gonna happen in this interview? No, actually, change my mind. I'm gonna do well. It's all gonna be okay. And this morning, I was talking to another recruiter over LinkedIn. And they said, oops, sorry, do not sponsor visa. So I really want this job to work out and this interview to go well. Sometimes I think maybe like wanting something too much doesn't really help. And I just need to relax more, which is kind of hard to do in the middle of a workday. But I'm gonna use my lunch break to hopefully wind down, not eat in front of my camera for a change. An hour before work, so I still have time to get a little bit more ready, prepare my script, or at least like the first 10 seconds of what I'm gonna say for each section. That way I can start off strong and be more confident. I feel like with this job, I'm constantly interviewing and being tested. To everyone out there looking for a job or looking to transition, I don't know how y'all do this with life. Literally have 10 minutes before I need to head into the office. Okay, how do I look? Do I look like I can do this job? Let's see with the lights. Maybe it's all about the lighting. Oh no, lower the lights. Ha, what am I missing? No, at this point, it's fine. Let me just put some sparkly stuff under my eye so I look like a bright soul teeming with enthusiasm. But I'm probably not doing it right, so the makeup gurus out there, help. All right, ready for today. I need to wear my jacket. You know, next time, I think the best thing I can do for myself to prepare for an interview is to get plenty of sleep. Just the third round, they have 2 more rounds or something, so fingers crossed. I'm gonna be heading to work, so bye.
I am done with work, on my way to this interview. Hope I'm not late. Maybe I should run.
Interview starting in 10 minutes. I am going to do well, report back, wish me luck. Well, coming out of the interview, now that I think about it, I knew this was not my best and I would be surprised if I had moved forward. But I just want to make sure I understand what happened, because if my gut knew going in, then there must have been something I could have done differently, right? Let's start with what happened after the interview. So I just finished the interview. It was 45 minutes long. We went through 3 questions. I think the first question I started out strong, second was okay, and the third one was like not the best. I could totally tell that even when I was saying my answer, I was not convinced. Still sent a thank you email. Next time I think I'm gonna try role plays because that's what we did and the interview played a hard role. And let me review my notes then see what I can do differently next time. 진짜 I really wanted this. You know what? Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. Be thankful, be grateful. I showed potential, but I didn't show the performance. It's like one of those interviews where you just prepare and prepare, it's never going to be enough. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have done it on like end of day when I'm so tired and exhausted. Well, on to the next one. I can't just sit around like this forever. I will take some notes and figure out what I could have done differently. I had a non-generic tell me about yourself where I started with like a personal story and how this relates to this role and all the decisions I've made in my life. But looking back, maybe I could have led with something more crisp on my experience, headliner, impact, and what I want to do and how this relates, all connecting the dots. I also take a lot of notes while I do interviews. I can't show you in detail, but I realized some of the questions I answered were quite generic in response. I could have been a lot more detailed in how I would have approached the situation and also tie back to real life examples I've had. I would also say that I tend to ramble on if I'm given the chance. I should have paused more and reflected more of the interviewer's tone because I felt less prepared and a lot more nervous because this was especially a role that I wanted. I thought to impress them, I should walk them through all my logic and everything in my mind. That probably wasn't the right choice. Sometimes fewer words are better to convey my message, and I was not doing that during the interview. So overall, it felt like a good conversation, but not a great interview. But at the end of the day, I can't just demonstrate potential. I need to show progress. I need to show results. What I didn't convey as much was some of my technical understanding of how the tools work, what can be better. And I'll make a separate video on this because I am starting to get worried that I sound like a consultant. Someone else said it in one of the comments too, and I don't know what it is. I thought I was being structured, but maybe I'm just like fluff, fluff, poof, poof. Here are the frameworks, 1, 2, 3. And this was a company I could obviously tell was going fast. So they needed someone to be decisive, concise, and ready, not with room for improvement. And a friend called me that he got the same recruiter reach out to him for this role. And this was actually the day after my interview. I was like, whoa, okay, what did you say? Like, are you gonna take it? He ultimately didn't move forward the interview. And then that's when it gave me a pause of maybe I got way too excited in this job market of interviewing for roles, even though it wasn't a good fit. I could clearly tell during the interview that I didn't have, I guess, like the whole salesy, made a bit of a pushy, aggressive personality that can sell a product. I immediately realized that wasn't my strength at the moment. I know it's a skill I can grow, but perhaps like I'm not going to be great at those roles. And I was just interviewing anything that was just coming my way without focusing on what I can continue doing well on. And, just to make myself a little better, I went to Glassdoor after the rejection and was like, let me find a 1-star review here. And then just like read it over and over again. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good. Would not have been a good fit. Let me just persuade myself that this was a blessing in disguise. So yeah, that's me a little bit petty. It just helped me get over it better. What I could have done differently even before this 3rd round interview was I could have asked the HR contact a little bit more upfront in terms of what's important, what are they looking for, specific skill sets, because during that call, I was like, wow, I am so excited. Yes, tell me more. Instead of really digging deep into whether this is a good match. Both ways, right? It is what it is. And to make sure it doesn't happen again, I am going to start recording myself again, transcribe it, and see if I can say the same things in fewer words at a better pace. Also, because I wasn't telling anyone that I was interviewing, I did it all by myself. I just read a few scripts out loud, didn't do any mock interviews, but that's something what I should have done. I'm gonna ask my favorite AI tool based on what I just told you. What do you think are my strengths, my weakness? What could I have done differently? And how do I make myself feel better? Here are some areas for improvement. Rambling responses that bury your punchline. Missed opportunities to probe deeper. The role play fell flat. Sometimes too deferential. What does that even mean? How to feel better. This is the most important part that I want to hear today. Reframe what happened. This wasn't a weak interview. It was a specific interview with clear areas to improve. That's actually good news because the flexes are tactical about fundamental. Practical recovery. Send a thoughtful follow-up email. All right, I did that. Practice the role play scenario with a friend where they give you the same pushback. All right. And then maybe another thing for me is try to get more sleep, Eugene, the night before an interview. Yeah, I did stay up late and woke up super early for a morning meeting. But that is life. Just gotta take what it gives you and keep moving forward. It would have been really nice if I came to this room today with you saying that, yes, I have an offer. Today's not the day. but maybe another day, because I keep telling myself, if you don't give up, you won't fail. At least that's what kept me going throughout my life. The hardest part of career transition isn't rejections. I think for me, the hardest part is showing up with enthusiasm, even though I've had many other rejections behind me. I need to make sure that I remember the good parts of what I can continue doing well. At the same time, forget the bad parts, aka the rejections, the bitter, sour feelings, the gloomy darkness, this wintry weight that I have on my shoulders. I am tired. It is Sunday at 11 p.m. I have another work day ahead starting tomorrow, and I know it's not going to be easy. But even then, I will continue to start the interview with a smile, because that's the only thing I can control for now. I hope you are not going through the same thing, but if you are, let me know in the comments below what has helped you keep going. So thank you for watching. I'm gonna head to bed, and remember to come back to my next video topic on...
Let's go! It's time to be the GOAT. It's time to enter God mode, man, let's get it going. I wanna be the greatest, energy is overflowing. I know I'm stoking the fire, my desire's taking over.